Hey students, have you been flagged for using AI and didn't know what you were doing wrong? Or maybe you're concerned whether or not you could use something or could not use something? If so, this video is for you. I want to talk a little bit about AI. AI is everywhere. It is in your phone. It is in your Google searches. It is in your GPS. It's in what we call Grammarly. It's in ChatGPT, Copilot. There are so many different types of AI out there. And it's everywhere and it's okay in so many cases, but the misuse of it can cross academic integrity lines. And so I want to make sure you understand a little bit about that. Let's begin with the most basic, and that is using Grammarly. If you've gone through our college study skills classes, you've been told, get Grammarly, use Grammarly. But there's two parts of Grammarly, and sometimes that makes it confusing. Grammarly is great for fixing grammar or fixing clarity. But it can also lean into fixing tone and style and rewording things. And to some degree, it moves across the line from editing to beginning to author your paragraph. And so all I've done is on the screen, I have put a very poorly written paragraph. And I want to show you what basic Grammarly can do and what you can do without any problems, even without even telling us that you're doing it. So you notice on the screen, this paragraph has lots of red lines. Those are all coming from Grammarly. I'm on a Mac, so they may look a little differently than on a PC, but hey, this should be split up. It's telling me that over here, this should be a, let me get off of it and get it to go back. That's actually Word doing it, that one. Some of these are Grammarly, some of these are Microsoft Words. I'm using the wrong word here in this particular example. So you can see as I go through, I'm just fixing basic things like, hey, this needs to have a comma. This is the wrong word. This should be lives. This is a conjunction. That should be a contraction. And notice as I'm going through, I'm taking away all those little red underlines. This is basic fixing. This is acceptable. This is not a problem. As I go through this document, every time I get to one of these little things and I'm fixing some basic issues in my paragraph that I have written, this is all acceptable. And actually, when you get to the end and you have cleaned up all those reds and blues, red from Grammarly, blue perhaps from your Microsoft Office, that's good. But notice that none of the phrasing, none of the words really changed. It was all my basic content. I wrote everything. I just had a typo. I had a contraction. I needed a comma. That's using basic Grammarly. That is completely acceptable. That is actually strongly encouraged. But some people have enhanced Grammarly. They have a paid subscription. And this is the same paragraph. Now, what you'll notice is that sometimes when you're doing stuff, it'll ask you to, if you want to redo it. So if I hover over here, I'll get this bar. Now, I don't have Pro Grammarly, so I only get a few of these attempts a day. And you'll see that it's like, hey, here's a way to reword this. And it's covered over because it doesn't want to give me what it is. But I could pay for it. But I could change it to be formal. I could improve it. I could rephrase it. I could do more. That's when you're crossing the line from your language to somebody else's language. And that needs to be disclosed. You need to tell us you've done that because that is not your words. Okay, so it's your words originally, but it's your words what they call enhanced. So if you look, I've created an example here. This is the same paragraph, but notice it says the Bible talks a lot, and Grammarly changed it to speaks often. Some people thinks faith is just believing facts about God. And it changed it to some assume faith simply involves believing. There's entire sentences here that have been inserted. These are not part of my writing. These were given to me. This whole closing statement really summarizes this. This is what we call enhanced generative AI. It's taking your words, it's enhancing them better than you could even write, because if you could write it that well, you would have written it like that the first time. This is actually where you get in trouble and you're going to get flagged for AI use because this is not your writing. Now, you can do this, but you have to disclose to your professor that you've done it. And I want to show you what that means by going out and looking at our academic catalog. You can download this offline, but we have a section on academic integrity, the use of ChatGPT or AI technology, which includes things like Grammarly, is not appropriate in certain contexts. Now, if you read on, there is an entire section on AI that talks through things like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, Jasper, Grammarly, and things like that. So read through this. Now, I just want to highlight a couple of areas so the video doesn't get too long. There are some things that you are very much permitted to do to get ideas and brainstorm. I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. Outline, check grammar, explore questions. These are all accepted. But students are not allowed to submit AI-generated text, and that's what that enhanced Grammarly just did. It changed, it enhanced, it generated new text and acted like it was mine. You cannot submit substantial portions of your assignment. If you've got paragraphs that are AI-generated, that's bad, or even fabricating sources. So what do? Well, you have to disclose it. And so we've given you some examples here. You can read through this, but you could do something as simple as this. I used OpenAI, ChatGPT, or Grammarly to generate an outline, and here's what I did. Okay, so you just need to explain in a footnote that you used Grammarly to enhance your writing. If you tell us, then that helps us to understand what you've done, and when you're flagged for AI, we are aware of it, and we will not necessarily penalize you. There's even a chart here, what you can do. Do you need to disclose it? Basic Grammarly? No. But enhanced Grammarly, things like Grammarly Go, a paid subscription, then yes, you must disclose and cite it according to the policy. Now, the other thing I want to hit just briefly is ChatGPT in general. ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot or any of these types of generative AI are good and bad. So I want to give you some examples. I actually used chat to create this for you, ironically. But here's a bad use of this. If you were to say, hey, write a 5-page paper explaining the theological significance of justification by faith in Paul's letters, include biblical reference and scholarly sources, this is completely wrong. This is inappropriate. This will get you a plagiarism violation. This will get you a 0 on assignment and maybe a 0 in the course. Why? Because AI is doing the work. You're not doing the thinking. You're not doing the research. You're not doing the writing. This is considered plagiarism. This is completely wrong. So how can you use it correctly? Well, you could do something like this. You could brainstorm, and you could go into chat and say, hey, I'm writing a paper on justification by faith. What are some key themes or angles I might explore? And it will give you some prompts. And then you can go dig into that, do your own research, write your own paper. It's helping you brainstorm, but you're still doing the research and writing. That's acceptable. Understanding the concept. Explain the concept of justification by faith in simple terms and list a few passages of Paul's letter where it appears. So now you're using it as a study guide or maybe like an encyclopedia or a handbook. It's helping you understand it so that then you can go somewhere later and write your paper or prepare for your test or whatever. That's acceptable. That's good. Now you have to be careful because it may be wrong, but at least can get you started. So never think it's foolproof. Create an outline. Here's one. Help me create an outline for a paper on justification by faith in Paul's letter. The paper needs an introduction, 3 to 4 main sections, and a conclusion. Okay, this is all it's doing is helping you organize your ideas. And if you could tell it, here's my thesis, here's what my points I want, it can help you enhance your paper in a good way. And then you actually write your argument, write your paper, source your own work. That can be good. You can even use chat for things like improving your paper. You can say, hey, here's a paragraph of my paper. Can you suggest ways to make it more clear, more concise? Now, you probably need to disclose this because this would be like Grammarly enhanced. But you wrote the content, AI is just acting like a tutor. It's enhancing it. Again, you need to disclose that, but you could do that. Or you could even have it as a idea generator. So the key is you want to make sure that you're doing the work, you're doing the writing, you're doing the research, you're doing the validation. That makes it acceptable. Anything where AI is doing the writing or significantly improving the writing is wrong.